Dear students, let us quickly discuss an example of energy balance method before we move to our discussion on next set of method to establish evaporation using aerodynamical method. Now here the question is we have to calculate the evaporation rate from an open surface of Lake Vembanad, which happens to be the largest lake in India, situated in Kerala with an area of 2000 square kilometer if net radiation is 200 watt per meter square and air temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. We have to assume there is no sensible heat or ground heat flux loss is associated with the radiation. So we can say that Rn is simply 200 watt per meter square after ignoring all other losses. Now, as we learned that we would need rho W LV, which happens to be the latent heat of vaporization. And for temperature 25 degrees Celsius, density of water is slightly lower than what it happens to be at standard temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. And we take the value of 997 kg per meter cube. We can also assume it to be 1000 kg per meter cube in absence of any other information, as it will have minuscule effect in our answers. Similarly, latent heat of vaporization at the temperature of 25 degrees Celsius is around 2500 kilojoules per kg. And yesterday, or in our last lecture, we learned that evaporation rate is equal to total energy incident Rn divided by LV and rho W, and this gives us what is the depth of water that is being evaporated over 1 meter square area. So what we get at the end comes out to be around 8.22 into 10 to the power minus 8 meter per second, and after changing meter to mm and second to day using a conversion factor of 86400 for second to day, and meter to mm is of course 10 to the power 3, we get our answer as 7.10 mm per day. Now, what is interesting here is that although it looks like a quantity in millimeter, but when we multiply it with such a huge area of lake, this comes out to be a tremendously large quantity, and losses because of evaporation in volume can definitely be calculated as ER multiplied by surface area when both of these are expressed in some standard units. Let us say that we will take the area of we will establish units in mm cube, and then we can go to any quantity that we are interested in. Specifically, we can always look into liters of water that is lost to evaporation per day. And I leave this calculation up to you that what is the volume of water in liters that would get evaporated from Lake Vembanad each day. Now, there are two main concerns associated with evaporation. We already know that specifically in context of India, our sources of fresh water are limited in a way that we have a few rivers, major rivers flowing in certain parts of India, but most of our dry season it relies on storage of water, and this storage often comes from lakes, reservoirs, and ponds. And if this huge quantity of water gets evaporated, that ultimately is an instant loss when we need a water, and hence reducing this evaporative losses by the engineering interventions would become important. And some of these interventions would include that we can reduce the surface area from A to A effective, and that can be done by using some covers or the floating balls on top of surface of the lake. And of course these are expensive solutions, and sometimes certain chemicals are also used to which reduces the evaporation potential even if large energy is incident upon the pond, but again it comes at the risk of contamination of entire surface. There is a cost associated with that. So evaporative losses, they of course remain a big challenge, specifically when we are dealing with large surface areas. Now also talking about, we will continue our discussion about more engineering strategies once we cover all the methods. First of all, let us discuss that what are the limitations of energy balance method. So one of the biggest limitations of energy balance method is that yesterday we talked, we do not account for losses. That is, we say that ground heat flux is equal to zero, the sensible heat flux is equal to zero, and also we just make our calculations based on the fact that if energy is available, evaporation can happen. But imagine there are certain days when there is no cloud, sun is falling on earth, but there is high humidity. And we say that it feels like everything is not very comfortable around us, because that is the time when the air does not have capacity to take enough of the water in the vapor form, and hence this hunger or thrust, I should say, of air to take these water vapors from these surfaces also become an important factor. So to account for that, how we can account for this thrust or potential for evaporation to happen, we look into another method where we say that in previous case we were just accounting for energy as a limiting factor. So energy is limiting factor in energy budget method. However, now we hypothesize that in addition to energy, another important factor is mass, or what is the potential that is available for water vapors to be accommodated in given parcel of air, and we would call this as aerodynamic method. And in this case, our limiting factor would be mass. So this is an important distinction that all of us have to remember. And finally, we will look into a combined method where we will combine energy plus mass and try to come up with the optimal solution. And we will call this combined method, in which we will also learn something called as bovine ratio, which would account for both mass and energy that is present for evaporation to happen. So in our next video, we will discuss aerodynamic method in detail.